Hello, listeners. Today, we're going to experience a story that's not only entertaining, but also a fantastic way to practice your listening skills. I want you to pay close attention to each part of the story and try to imagine every scene as it unfolds. Listening closely to details will help you connect each part and understand the story better. So let's dive in. It was a chilly Monday morning, and Michael was following his usual routine. He yawned as he climbed onto a crowded bus, his mind still foggy from sleep. He stood in the aisle, gripping the rail as the bus bumped along the route he knew so well. Michael was half awake, scrolling through his phone, barely paying attention to anything around him. He was completely unaware that today would be anything but a normal day. When the bus finally reached a stop, Michael quickly slid his phone into his pocket and stepped off. He could almost taste the coffee he was about to order from the cafe down the street. As he strolled into the cafe, the barista greeted him with a smile and asked, "The usual, Michaels?" Michael nodded. "Yes, please. Large latte with caramel." He reached into his pocket to pull out his wallet, but his hand froze. His wallet wasn't there. His heart dropped. He quickly patted his other pockets, then checked his jacket, hoping it had just slipped to another place. But no, his wallet was missing. A wave of panic swept over him as he realized it was truly gone. Take a moment to imagine his situation. Michael's mind was racing with questions. Where could it be? Had someone taken it? Had he left it somewhere without realizing? Determined to find his wallet, Michael took a deep breath and began to retrace his steps. He remembered using his wallet to pay the bus fare earlier. So, maybe he'd left it on the bus? The thought filled him with both hope and dread. He thanked the barista and dashed out of the cafe, heading back to the bus stop as fast as he could. But when he arrived, the bus he'd been on was already long gone. "There's no way I can catch up to it," he thought, feeling despair start to creep in. He looked around, feeling helpless, when he noticed an elderly man waiting nearby, leaning on his cane. Michael decided to ask him. "Excuse me, sir," he said politely. "Did you see a wallet on that last bus? I think I left mine there." The man looked at him thoughtfully, as if searching his memory. After a moment, he nodded. "Yes, I did see something that looked like a wallet on one of the seats. It was right before I got off the bus." Michael felt a small spark of hope. "Did anyone else notice it? Maybe someone took it." The man shook his head. "I didn't see anyone pick it up, but I got off before the next stop. Perhaps the next person saw it." Thanking the man, Michael continued on, feeling a mix of hope and anxiety. He remembered a small fruit stand down the street. Many people passed by there in the morning, so maybe someone who saw his wallet was nearby. As he approached the fruit stand, he saw the vendor, a cheerful woman named Rosa, arranging fresh fruits. She greeted him with a warm smile. "Good morning, Michael." "No fruit today." Michael smiled back weakly, then asked, "Actually, Rosa, I lost my wallet. I think it was left on the bus, but I'm not sure. Did you happen to see anyone with a brown leather wallet this morning?" Rosa tilted her head, thinking. "The wallet? I haven't seen one, but a man did stop by here a little while ago. He looked like he was looking for something or someone. He seemed a bit anxious, like he'd lost something." Michael's heart skipped a beat. "Do you know where he went?" Rosa nodded. "I think he might have headed toward the police station. You know, people around here are usually honest. If he found a wallet, he might have turned it in." Feeling a rush of hope, Michael thanked Rosa and made his way toward the police station. His heart was pounding as he walked quickly down the street. He couldn't help but feel nervous. Could his wallet really be there? Would all his belongings be intact? Now, pause for a moment and imagine what he's feeling: excitement, hope, and a little bit of worry. Do you think he'll find his wallet? Keep listening to find out. When Michael reached the police station, he approached the front desk and explained his situation. "I lost my wallet on the bus this morning," he said, describing it as a brown leather wallet with a tiny scratch on the side. He even mentioned that it contained his ID, a few credit cards, and some cash. The officer listened patiently, nodding as Michael explained. "People bring in lost items all the time," he said kindly. "But we haven't received a wallet this morning. Don't lose hope yet. Sometimes it takes a little while for things to show up." Just as Michael was about to thank the officer and leave, a young woman approached the counter, holding a brown leather wallet in her hands, a wallet that looked exactly like Michael's. "Excuse me," she said softly. "I found this wallet on the bus and thought someone might be looking for it." Michael's eyes widened. "That's mine," he exclaimed, relief flooding his voice. He could hardly believe it was right there in front of him. The young woman smiled, looking pleased. "I saw it left behind on the seat after everyone else had gotten off. I almost kept it to look for contact information, but thought it might be easier to bring it here." Michael thanked her, unable to contain his gratitude. He opened the wallet and saw that everything was still there, every card, every dollar, and the small, personal notes from his family. It was as if the universe had given him a second chance. As they stood there, Michael struck up a conversation with the young woman, whose name was Lisa. They laughed together about the situation, both relieved that it had a happy ending. Michael realized how helpful everyone had been along his journey to find his wallet: the elderly man, Rosa the street vendor, the police officer, and now Lisa. Before leaving, Lisa looked at Michael and said, "You know, sometimes we all need a little help. Maybe next time, you'll be the one finding someone else's lost wallet." Michael smiled, feeling inspired. "You're absolutely right. Today reminded me how much kindness there is in the world." "Thank you, Lisa. You've really helped me out." As Michael walked home that evening, his wallet safely tucked in his pocket, he felt a renewed sense of gratitude and responsibility. This experience had taught him something important. Patience, kindness, and trust could truly make a difference. And who knows? Maybe someday he'd be the one helping someone find what they'd lost. And that's the end of our story. But before we wrap up, let's think about what Michael learned. What do you think was the main lesson in this story? Take a moment to reflect. Michael's story shows us that in moments of panic, it's important to stay calm and retrace your steps. And remember, kindness and honesty are powerful. Because of the kindness of others, Michael was able to find what he'd lost. Let's review a few questions to help you practice your listening. Where did Michael first realize he'd lost his wallet? Who were the people Michael met along the way? What did Lisa say to Michael after returning his wallet? What was the lesson that Michael learned at the end of the story? If you can answer these questions, you're doing a fantastic job. Keep practicing your listening skills by listening to stories, paying attention to details, and imagining each scene as you hear it. Thanks for listening today, and remember, practice makes perfect. Keep listening.